Stocks are crashing today and simply pulling back down to that tariff low we've been talking about. If this is your first time here, welcome on to the channel, everybody. I'm going to give you a bull case and a bear case so we don't get, as we call it, horned up too much on one side or the other because there's being traps set. Today we had a rug pull bull trap at that tariff high that I've been talking about if you've been on the channel watching the previous videos. My name is Dr. B. I appreciate you all for coming on the channel. Y'all been doing absolutely amazing, smashing that subscribe button. Let me know what other videos you'd like me to see down below. On this channel, we produce weekly market updates day in and day out, and also we produce educational content. If you'd like to join our Leverage University Discord, which is where we also teach live trade, give trade ideas, everything first and foremost in that Discord. The link is down below. Use the code Black Friday. All right. So without further ado, let's jump into it today and give a rationale. We talked about it over the previous days. And if you've been following along, you're like, man, this is actually happening. Now, I'm not always right. I don't proclaim to be. I'm just simply reading the charts, reading levels, and reacting to those levels. And that's what traders in the short term should do. And long-term investors should also look at the charts to see where they can take profit, trim, and look at the bigger outlook picture. All right. So the concern in the markets right now is that, yeah, NVIDIA, everyone saved the day, NVIDIA, blah, blah, blah. But the concern still is the underlying economy. And if we can see right here on this Fed interest rate tool, that there's now 60, I think it got up to like almost 80% now that we are not going to have a rate cut in December. It's more likely going to be a pause. We had some employment jobs numbers that came out today that showed that inflation was slowing and that everything was good and that there's no need to have a more aggressive rate cut. Now that could change over the next coming weeks, but that is the reasoning why the fundamentals are so key to understand, which is why I kind of have 80% technical, 20% fundamental. Fundamental is, again, the news, the data, the earnings of stocks, but the technicals, the charts show us patterns over time to where there's traps being set, and today was a trap. Now, the question is for my bulls out there that are concerned that clicked on this video like, Brian, this is, back to the upside, pick up the dip, pick up the dip. Yeah, but where's the bottom, right? Just like in April, where's the bottom? All right, we have technically broke trend, bears have control. So trying to catch that falling knife, as my previous video showcased, right? That is the concern. All right. So let's continue here. And again, the NASDAQ extends decline to 1.1%. Stocks have turned negative. We essentially flipped the whole weekly green candle back red. And that was that trap for bulls, because anyone that got long today, anyone that just horned up on call options or bought more, right? In the long term, you're fine. If you bought more shares on the dip, that's fine. But if you bought call options holding, thinking we were just going to squeeze back to new all-time highs, you got trapped. All right. And that's what I'm not trying to fear monger anybody. Essentially, this channel is to protect people, help people, give them a reality of what others may not, tell them simply because NVIDIA had good earnings. Right. So let's jump on the charts and showcase. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Gosh. All right, so now this is the head and shoulders for those who have never seen this pattern that you see playing out here. All right, there's the left shoulder, there's the right shoulder. We got the neckline at tariff, and there is the right shoulder. And essentially, you can see the tariff drop and then this drop. Almost an equal drop on the day. So we've gotten two chances of one day that just absolutely could make your month, make your week, make your day. When I say that, we had put options today at 672 puts on SPY. They were $120 to $150. They're at $1,700. 10 of those, 5 of those, 1 of those would have made someone minimum $1,000 today. Okay. Now, Brian, did you make $1,000? No, we took those out at a cut, and then we got IWM. We began scalping other puts back down, so on and so forth. All right. So stocks are getting aggressive, and I talked about this. All right. So why do I think we have much more downside is simply because there is not just the QQQ, which is the NASDAQ. We are starting to break tariff lows here on the Qs, which is our tech index. We're starting to break those tariff lows as we speak. The market is still open. So why I wanted to get this video out is showcase where is the actual bottom, right? On SPY, we have not broken the tariff lows just yet, but there are some gaps to fill. The next technical level is to see how we react around this daily 100. That's 650, 652. We get below there's some serious 640 in play, 630 in play. Well, Brian, why wouldn't you pick up this dip and just roll back to the highs? Is because, like I said before, we have not reclaimed that tariff high, right? We are below the daily 20, got back below the daily 50, and approaching the daily 100. Okay, below the daily 20 moving average, below the daily 50 again, fell back below there, approaching the daily 100. We get below the daily 100. Look what happens, right? It is almost a April type of free fall, right? So I don't think the pain is done just yet. We shall see, but people are taking their profits. All right. People are taking their profits. All right. So let's look at some of the semiconductors. Let's look at the SMH. This is what's been ruling the market. Okay. All semis, all AI, everyone's saying AI bubble, AI race. I'm not saying it's going to be a bubble. I'm just saying it's getting a little bit overextended for right now. Now, can we have rebounds? Yeah. Like we had, yesterday. We had a 658 and we opened up the market and you're at 675. That's a 15, if you call it the bottom, almost $20 rebound. So the market is very, very volatile right now, and you're getting those big rebounds / drops, things of that nature. So either you're making a lot of money or you're losing money. Okay. There's really no in between because the ranges are so wide and you have to be on the right side of the trade and not get too aggressive one side or the other. Right. So we trade the bottoms in supports. We do not short into support, and we don't want to long into resistance. Okay. So my bottoms and levels, for those that came just for the levels, I've got 640. Let me show you on our Fibonacci tool here. We're now creating lower lows. All right. So again, I sound like I'm very bearish. I like trading the downside personally, but I have an open mind when I'm in live trading. Okay. For those that are in Leverage University, All right. Fib extension here. I want to come from this area here down to the lows, drag it up to this high, and you can see some levels down below. Okay. You can see some levels down below. If I turn on my volume profile on a daily, the next high volume node is down here at 640. Right? Down there at 640. You can see that lines up with, as some people call them, A to B, B to C pattern. So there's your A, there's your B, there's your C, and there's your D, and then so on and so forth. So it takes 1, 2, 3, okay, legs to get down to our final target of potentially 640. You can see that there is very low volume in between here. Okay. You see these volume nodes right there at 663, 661. That is where I get my levels from, is where our traders most active. And look where we failed back underneath that high volume node. And guess who couldn't hold up? Bulls. Right. So now that we've created this lower low, bulls, in my opinion, they're going to try to hold up this tariff high. But if I was a bull here and seeing that type of engulfing candle there, I may get a little bit of a scalp back up, but I'm not getting too aggressive because this is low volume and we could just keep falling down into that range like that. All right. So there are your levels now. Go back to those 663, 661, 663, 661. That is the new level that we are back underneath. 663, 661. See that right there? Former support. Now again, resistance. All right. And then you're going to watch for this 653 breakdown. That 653 breakdown underneath that daily 100 moving average. You're coming down to 640. All right. Qs. What do we got? The level on Qs now that we have this head and shoulders formation is going to be right here, that high volume node at 598 to 600. Okay, 598 to 600 right there on that node. You can see it right here. If you don't know how to turn on volume profile, type in volume profile in Robinhood Legend and or here for the indicators on QQQ. So I know people, I don't keep those on all the time, but it does give a really nice level to where there's high volume, right? Around this area, you can see a lot of fighting. I've been saying that, fighting in this area. Who's gaining control? Bulls, bears, and guess who took control? Bears. So guess what? Where are the next high volume nodes on QQQ? Right? QQQ moved roughly $15 today. It was at 615, right? So you can drop another 2%, right? Let's check here. Where's our 10% correction from the highs? Right down into that level. See at the top, 10.67%. So there is your correction level. That is the correction right there. Okay. Now a crash will be lower into these gap fills down here. I do not personally think we would fall down to there immediately, but that is our big level. That is what you want ideally. And if we go into a weekly time frame, look how that weekly's looking. It's headed right down into there. Previous highs. So do not be surprised if you see QQQ 530, QQQ 570. Okay. 570 is our next pit stop. If we break below those tariff lows, which we're kind of doing right now. All right. See that support breaking? Oh my gosh, man. Oh gosh. These are the days. These are the days you pray for. And when you get them, that's the frustrating thing about a trader in general is you can see the trade play out and you can take a piece of it. That's our job as traders, day traders, more specifically intraday, is to get a piece of the trade, right? 50%, 100%. That is a great trade, right? But when you get these 1,000+% trades, they just make your month. I mean, anyways, let's get back to it. Let's jump on some other reason why I also think there's more downside. We have not even seen a pullback on Apple. We have not even seen a deeper pullback on Google. Google has double topped, failed back underneath 293, right? I know Google's been extremely bullish, but this is a look above, fail back below. Okay. Back below 293. The next high volume node is 283. If we get back below there, this is a full look above pullback like this. Look at that, right? So there's still more opportunity for those who think they missed today. I understand. Or if you're on the wrong side of the trade today, you got absolutely slapped in the face. I get it. There is more downside, and you may want to watch that how to trade put options on the channel if you do not know how to trade, or join Leverage University to get more live trading of how to actually do this. All right. Let's look at some more that may have some more downside. Okay. I think semiconductors in general. Okay. Semis in general. We've broken back below. NVIDIA back down to my target of 150. NVIDIA back to 150. Breaks below this high volume node underneath 184 again. This is a full failure. We got lower. AMD full gap fill. My gosh. AMD full gap fill. Any pops on AMD, we got underneath 200 again, in my opinion. Underneath 200. MU, big move today. Big move. Look at every semiconductor. Every semiconductor. Obviously, crypto is moving down as well. So we got Hood pulling back to 100, filling that gap. I'm getting excited. I love the downside. I'm getting excited because any pops, I'm not really interested in picking up dip for call options yet. I'm not. Just tell you that right now. I'm not. And our thesis is working out very, very well. All right. So I can stay on here for like I'm in live trading and just keep giving you a sentiment. But I really want you to take away from this is that we have broken trend on a weekly time frame. Right? We are creating a new lower low today on a weekly time frame, and we can continue potentially tomorrow. Do not chase the downside just yet. Wait for pops and fades for proper entries. But ultimately, we are breaking below. I do personally think we have lower, and we shall see tomorrow and see if we get a little recovery overnight. Pick up your shares if you got shares that you've been looking at. CoreWeave, if you've been looking at that, obviously Meta, been looking at that. Keep picking up your shares on dips. Their 10% correction is much further down. All right. On SPY, 10% correction here. Down to, looks like we have an intermediate top in play. 10% correction is down into this 618, 620. There's your 10% correction. Another leg down like that. All right. Cool. Well, peace, love, and blessings to you all. Thank you all so much per usual for coming onto the channel. I appreciate you. If this is valuable for these updates and you're making money or you're getting a better understanding of the market, understanding, cool, I already prepared for this. This was planned. Brian told us, I understood it. Cool. I'm not freaking out. But till next time, hit that subscribe button, like button, join Leverage University with the Black Friday code down below. And I will see y'all in Leverage University and also in the next video. Peace, love, and blessings. Talk to y'all soon.